and good day. This is Dr. Peter again with a weekly outlook. This week we find out how the Federal Reserve and the European Central Banks continue to position themselves and what the future direction of travel is in terms of rate hikes. Meanwhile, the markets are pricing in a slowdown in the pace of rate hikes because it's hard to imagine central banks wanting to accept a crash in the economy. That's exactly where the blackmail potential of the economy against the central banks always lies. If we don't get cheap money, well, let's let the economy get to the wall. So the motto is simplified. This has always been the case in Germany and Europe. When a large company gets into trouble, it calls for the state and demands billions in bailouts, or they quickly lay off tens of thousands of employees who then flow into the social security system and burden the budget coffers as well. The geopolitical situation has not changed since last week. It continues to work massively on an escalation to expand the war in Ukraine to an area border. So it's not really surprising that we are heading into a dark valley, which we'll probably have to walk through before things get better. And to round off today's story, yes, things will pick up again and at the end of all days, and people will once again know what really matters in life. Always think in cycles of sine curves. Wave crests and wave roots always alternate. Nothing stands still, everything is constantly in motion. We are just before the through of the wave, just before the upheaval or the impact, as you could also say. Then the cards are reshuffled and everything starts all over again. Probably no stone will remain on the other. The balance of power will shift. The world will be set back 50 years in time. When I was born 54 years ago, there were 3 billion people on Earth. Today, there are 8 billion. Maybe at the end of the through it will be 3 billions again. There are plenty of plans for that. We can only prepare ourselves as best we can for the geopolitical catastrophes that lie ahead, because anyone with eyes can see for themselves that we are on a course of escalation at full throttle. Other writers spend their days trying to figure out why politicians are driving the world further and further into crisis. Here is the answer. Because politicians are not the decision makers, but only the messengers of the message. Even 30 years ago, I learned that what matters is not what a politician says, but who owns him. If you know that, you know what he will and say and decide. Each of us must decide these days what he will do. Should we hope that the protagonists will come to their sense and withdraw the measures and decisions, because it should be long too late for that? The foundation of croesus-asset.management is a reaction to the circumstances of our time. Inflation, expropriations, the right of states to seize the assets of their citizens are only the beginning. More and more people want to dominate, control, limit, and in the end enslave the people. Of course, this also includes those who wear a uniform and implement the decisions of corruption politicians by force against their own people. For here it behaves like a carcinoma which proliferates at the expense of the whole organism and kills its host, but in the end dies with it. In the short term, many things it's working on the winning road, but only because it does not think the process through to the end. Croesus specialized in exponential progressive wealth accumulation and decentralized blockchain-based asset protection, protect from third-party access solely visible and always available to its owner. Find out more. Visit our website, become part of the Croesus family. Looking forward to meeting you. Yours sincerely, Dr. Peter Reinhardt.